Recovering Queen. The Queen fan podcast where we talk about and play the songs we love. With Jay, Matt, and Ian.
Welcome to Recovering Queen, the Queen podcast, where we take a Queen track, cover a Queen track, chat about that Queen track, and try to get into the method and the madness of the greatest band the world has ever seen, Queen. I'm Matt, and with me, as always, are Jay and Ian. Good evening, gents.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, there we go. So...
Yeah, you know what it is tonight? It's a Matt on the Prowl.
Are we going straight for Matt on the Prowl, are we? Oh, yes.
The 1984 classic, in inverted commas.
What?
Classic what?
From the works, Man on the Prowl.
Guys, before we start, this is going to be a short episode, isn't it?
Why?
I hope so.
You're joking. How long was Fight from the Inside?
Oh, yeah, that's true. But Fight from the Inside is considerably better song than Man on the Prowl.
We'll find out.
We'll find out, won't we, when we get to the...
When we get the scores. Well, I'm happy to do the scores on the doors now if you want.
Ladies. So here is Jay's version of Man on the...
No, we do need to get onto Jay's version because it is a vast improvement on the original. So, what do we think of the original version of Man on the Prowl from the works by Queen?
Do you want me to sum it? Do you want me to sum it up in a sentence?
Yeah.
What I think? I think it's a totally shameless attempt at revisiting Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Except on piano instead of acoustic guitar. It's like...
I think you're kind of right there.
Is there anything new on it? I mean, it's just rockabilly again. I guess the popularity of the Stray Cats may be playing into it, but...
Really, the Stray Cats. So bearing in mind how big Queen were at the time, they were thinking, oh, those Stray Cats, they're doing something. Well, they might have done.
Well,
it seems a bit unlikely.
They were massive. Stray Cats were massive at the time. This was the kind of, that's when they were, it's a bit, I know it's really odd, but I think bands like Queen, when they lose a little bit of confidence, sort of look around and going, oh, what's happening out, what's happening out there? What can we be like? And which is not what they did in the 70s. They were more sort of forward-looking, weren't they?
No, I definitely agree with that. It's just, I think they might have been looking to see what Michael Jackson was doing, for instance, rather than the Stray Cats.
Well, yeah, but it's let's face it, Michael Jackson wasn't doing sort of half-assed Elvis impressions.
No, well, doesn't it hark back to when I do the looking at what tracks have been performed live throughout the Queen tenure? One of them that's always up at the top there is Jailhouse Rock and Tutti Frutti, that they played it both of those, absolutely loads on every tour. I mean, Freddie obviously has got a real thing for those old classic rockabilly sound thing.
Yeah, it makes you sort of think those are the sort of tracks he was growing up to. I can imagine
absolutely. So I think probably it's more of a tradition of that, coupled with the direct trying to replicate the glory of Crazy Little Thing Called Love, but with a vastly inferior song. But I think I'd be surprised if they're looking at the Stray Cats to emulate some of their success, to be honest. I think it's more of this is in the grand tradition of what Freddie really likes. And on the works, Freddie's writing is possibly quite weak on the whole. Dare I say it?
Well, you've got It's a Hard
Life, which is great.
Passing the Open Windows, I'm going to go is a bit underrated, but it's.
I've got.
We haven't covered it yet, so let's not be hasty.
Yeah, true.
But on the surface, it's not something I ever look forward to listening to. But Hard Life, absolutely fantastic. But then, if you think that's his contribution, and this is the world recreated, which made my feelings known about that on the previous podcast. So I think Mercury's struggling a little. Maybe he's a bit distracted on other things at this time, and just kind of bashes out a 3-chord rock and roll song
Yeah, I think Hot Space had really taken it out on them, hadn't it? I think the game was so successful for them, but the cracks had already started to appear. The cracks were huge in Hot Space. By the time you get to the works, you are hitting a band low on confidence, low on energy, perhaps on the verge of splitting up.
For me, it's just incongruent. It's so, it doesn't fit in. And I think that it is like Crazy Little Thing Called Love, isn't it? But somehow that fits in with the game. I don't know whether it's the production that joins that in together much more succinctly or tightly, but it just really stands out to me in this sort of, I suppose for me, the works has that sort of Radio Gaga overarching feel of the sort of synths and the drum machines. And I don't know, it feels really weird. So I always think if it was a single and they completely did it in a different way, I might actually quite like it. But in context of it being on the album and the way that they've done it, yeah, it's not one of my favourites. I've got to be honest.
Well, you know what the difference between this and Crazy Little Thing Called Love is, don't you? Is that Crazy Little Thing Called Love is a brilliant song.
Yeah, but there's also the production element as well. That Jay's right there. That the works was a really futuristic sounding album on the whole, obviously with notable exceptions. And that one just sticks out like a sore thumb. Whereas the game is pretty consistent in its tone throughout. And Crazy Little Thing Called Love is part of defining that tone as well.
If Man on the Prowl was on the game, with a slightly more game sound, so it would fit in, wouldn't it? Because it's got that rockabilly sensibility that quite a few tracks on the game have. But would it? I think it would still be a bit of a stinker on that album, even then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it's just not a particularly well-crafted song, is it?
And is it me, or is it a little bit creepy? This sort of idea of a man, whoever that might be, whoever Freddie's talking about, going out on the prowl. He would like his baby to come home, but if that's not happening, then you better watch out because he's in the mood for love.
Man on the prowl.
Is that a bit stalkery, a bit weird?
Hasn't she or they left him, and he's on the loose and looking for trouble?
Yeah,
essentially, yeah.
It's kind of a breakup
Doesn't
song.
it start with a gag as well, really? Because the first two lines, and it almost telegraphs the gag later on, where it says, "I'm going to take a little walk on the wild side. I'm going to loosen up and get me some gas." Right, gas. Right, can be replaced with a word that then actually does crop up in the lyrics later on when he says, "I just want to be low down trash. I want to go to the movies. All I want to do is sit on my ass." It is definitely a gag, isn't it? That opening two lines is a lyrical joke.
Oh, I thought he had one of those Cala gas fires that were very popular in the 80s.
He wanted to go camping. Spelt with a Z. Spelt with a Z, though.
I always thought it was a mild kind of drug gag.
Oh, yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be
gas.
poppers, couldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was, because the whole thing is... exactly.
Some fuel. Get some petrol.
No, lighter fuel. That's what gas was. That was what we used to do. Well, that's what I've heard people used to do behind the. So I thought it was all Freddie doing
lighter fluid in the bike sheds.
Lighter fluid. Well, downstairs in the basement of Musicland.
No, it's probably when he lived in Liverpool. When he was in Wreckage or whatever the band was, or Ibex, wasn't it? When he was up in Liverpool.
Yeah, I didn't know that he used to live in Liverpool. I saw that earlier this week. That's an interesting tale.
Yeah, it's a nice little fact, that, isn't it?
Yeah, although there's some controversy about whether he lived there or just dossed on people's floor when he came up to visit.
Right, so he visited Liverpool.
Yeah, it was like
once.
Yeah. Well, no, he was in a band who were Liverpool based, and he would sort of stop on their floor.
As an aside to that, my daughter, 13-year-old, she was scouring the internet the other day and trying to catch me out with Queen facts and doing a Queen quiz for me, basically. It was really good fun, actually. She totally couldn't get me. It went on for hours and hours. And she was like, "Oh my God, you know everything about Queen." But then she finally got me on what is the city of origin of Freddie's first band, Ibex?
Oh, and it's Liverpool.
And it's Liverpool.
Oh.
Yeah, totally didn't get it. So she was like overjoyed that she finally got me.
Wow.
Got it.
What else? These lyrics. Now I've looked up because I didn't know what a rocksteady was. Does anybody know? Or rocksteady? Where is it? It's,
I don't want to be a rock and roll steady.
Yeah, rock and roll steady.
Oh, is that okay? Is that an actual thing?
Well, I just thought he meant like a rock steady. And that, which is a genre from Jamaica just before ska, or it was a sort of precursor to ska. It's sort of a reggae-based genre, and I thought that's what he was referring to. Interestingly, popularised by the Techniques and the Gay Lads.
Well, okay, there's a connection there, I suppose. I kind of read that line as that he doesn't want to be, have a steady girlfriend or a steady boyfriend. He just wants to be low down trash.
Well,
I don't know. It's what's weird about the lyrics. They don't even make any sense. The first verse is saying about how he's going to go out and go on the wild side, and then the second verse is about how he's going to go to the cinema.
What's he going to do with the third one? Go to Sainsbury's?
well, let's have a look. No, he's going to dream about his baby and teach a baby dancing, even though he's not Fred Astaire.
Right.
Seems fair enough.
Yeah,
it's just poor, isn't it?
It's a little bit.
It's really the attention to detail just hasn't been put there.
Well, is he concentrating on his own solo album too much? Is that what's happened here? Is Mr. Bad Guy sucked up, hoovered up Freddie's good songs?
Yeah, possibly.
Quite possibly. But as you say, they were quite disjointed, weren't they? All of them at this point.
Yeah. It's a bit of a mess.
So they may have been holding on to certain tracks, and then or the other members rejecting other bits of track. I don't know if it's political. Who knows?
I mean, it was a short album anyway, wasn't it?
God, it's unbelievably short.
And so it seems like they were just really struggling for material, despite, I think, what was it? Let's give them the works, lads. And cracking album on the whole, but very short and with
is
stinker in the middle of it.
Is there anything that we like about this track? Because I can think of.
It's interesting. The guitar solo.
Is it? I think it's a horrible sound, and it's basically a rubbish version of the crazy little thing called Love solo.
Yeah, well, it's not. Well, it's either. Is it Brian playing a Telecaster again, or is it
so,
some weird setting on the Red
It is
Special?
Telecaster, I'm sure.
It's pretty odd sound, though. It's a pretty odd. It's definitely not his Red Special, but you may have even picked up like his satellite guitar from the Flash video. It's so awful sounding, but
yeah,
and it's like Freddie's just gone. Oh, John, you know that bass line you did for Crazy Little Thing Called Love? Can you just do it over this chord pattern? It's just like it's so lazy. It's unreal for Queen.
Absolutely. I always enjoyed the piano solo. I mean, hats off to, I think, this one's Fred Mandel, isn't it?
Mandel.
Yeah.
And I recommend that listeners head over to our friends at Lap of the Pods to listen to their interview with Fred Mandel. They did an episode on that. So absolutely essential listening for any Queen fan. But you can find them on Spotify, Lap of the Pods podcast, their Fred Mandel special. But I always enjoyed the piano solo.
I do. That's what I was referring to, actually. That was the only thing that I liked. The breakdown at the end that sounds a bit of a cacophony of smashing piano keys just after the sort of more what you'd expect the piano solo, but it's and it kind of fades out, doesn't it, on it, as though it's sort of erupting into sort of craziness. And I think that's got some good energy in it, but I think it's only the last few seconds. So
it predicts the Sopranos, doesn't it? Because the Sopranos does that. Cut to black instantly. And this is a kind of Americana kind of song that you can imagine that was playing in the coffee shop as it cuts to black, and it does the same trick, doesn't it?
I mean, it could have been good. You know, there's that crikey, what's that the track with the Jules Holland amazing piano solo at the end of it that goes on and on for about twice the length of the actual song, and it's absolutely fantastic. And it I think does that one fade out? can't remember now. But it's absolutely definitely worth listening to. And they could have gone, if that solo had developed the way it was going, it could have been absolutely epic. I mean, there's another good one, David Bowie, Aladdin Sane, where that piano, cracky, what was his name? Was it Gerson? Who does the piano on Aladdin Sane. And that piano solo just eventually just goes absolutely mental, a bit probably in tune with the theme of the song. So it's always a shame that it just seems that solo is getting going and then it ends.
Yeah, but Queen aren't about that, are they? The Queen are they're a pop band at that point. And I'm going to put my penny in here that Fred Mandel does a great solo. Yeah, it's all very well and good. It's a bit like Jools Holland for me. It's someone who's like a session player, like bashing out like some licks. Tell you what I'd rather hear is the genius of Freddie Mercury on piano, like his piano solo in Love of My Life on Night at the Opera. That's a piano solo. That's one of those piano solos which takes your breath away and you go, oh my God, that is absolutely amazing. Like that's up there for me in terms of piano playing. That's better than people like Rick Wakeman and people like that. It's because it's so emotional and so heartfelt and skillful at the same time.
Yeah, it's a different type, isn't it?
I know what you mean. This is like blues riffs, isn't it?
Yeah,
this is just something that you would groove into, and you probably just improvise it there on the day, and that would be it.
Yeah, I've seen session players knock that kind of stuff out for a living. That's the thing, isn't it?
I'm guessing Freddie's would be incapable of that style of playing.
Well, I mean, he plays the rest of the song, doesn't he? And then he said to Fred Mandel, "Oh, you play this last bit. You're better than me at it." And and everyone will think it's me anyway. And he was laughing. But so Freddie plays the rest of the piano, which is really excellent. I think that he probably couldn't pull off a solo like Fred Mandel does because he's not that type of session player. It's like Fred Mandel has, presumably got some kind of conservatoire licks under his belt and can bash out that kind of stuff. He's a session player who can who saves you lots of money because they can walk into a studio and do that sort of thing at the drop of a hat and not take hours doing it.
Yeah. I mean, he was well in bed with Queen, though, wasn't he? He was their tour.
He was their touring keyboard player at the time.
Touring keyboard player, so it wasn't just a turn up and play kind of session, was it?
And this was going to be a single as well, wasn't it? And until they decided it wasn't. I think it was going to be the 5th single.
Until they released it on a B-side anyway, somewhere.
I don't know. Did they release
they must
it?
Have done, because you could get the whole album on singles, couldn't you? Yeah. So it must have been the B-side to...
Thank God It's Christmas.
No, it might have been actually. Yeah.
Well, they did. They did. Thank God It's Christmas instead of releasing this.
That's why I'm thinking it was that. Yeah.
But I mean, even to be thinking it's strong enough for a single.
Well,
I mean, that's kind of wowzers.
Yeah. Well, it must be really hard because what tangibly is the difference between this and Crazy Little Thing Called Love? As in, what makes me say the difference is Crazy Little Thing Called Love is literally a brilliant song. It's songwriting at its absolute peak, whereas Man on the Prowl is almost the opposite of it. But why? How is it?
To start with, Freddie all the way through it he's quite literally doing an Elvis impression. I mean, he's actually imitating it.
Well, yeah.
So I mean,
even the lyrics,
that can't be,
isn't it?
But even in his delivery of the way he sings it, I mean, that can't be good.
No, it's weird. Yeah, I mean, it's that's just weird. But even Crazy Little Thing Called Love's got a little bit of that going on, but it's not a problem.
Not as quite as overt though, is it?
But it's the song itself.
It is the song. Yeah. Absolutely. It's definitely a
You're asking what makes a really great song.
I'm asking what makes Crazy Little Thing Called Love a great song, when for all intents and purposes, it's got the same formula as Man on the Prowl. It just goes to show that a formula doesn't cut it. Right? That you could put the formula in, you can even have the same performers. You can even have the same amount of talent, yet some things work and some things don't.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the sentiment to start with is, a Crazy Little Thing Called Love is a very universal and lovely sentiment. And Man on the Prowl is less... is less universal, and I don't think it's going to appeal to all kinds of people. But just for starters, off the top of my head,
that's a very good point. Man on the Prowl. Yeah, and the lyrics are less coherent. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't land, does it? It doesn't land.
Would the works have been better if they'd put "I Go Crazy" on instead? Because that's another oddity of a Queen song. I actually prefer "I Go Crazy" to "Man on the Prowl."
I actually listened to "I Go Crazy" the other day, and I thought it was actually pretty cool.
Again, it probably doesn't fit on the works, but it's curious that they had those two options and they chose "Man on the Prowl" instead.
Yeah, but Freddie, presumably, "I Go Crazy" is Brian May, isn't it?
I think it's them all, isn't it? I think it's one of those weird ones.
It's very May-driven, though, isn't it? So,
Jay, your version of it, obviously you take a little bit of a sidestep from it's not 100% faithful version. What
possessed me?
It?
What possessed me or what inspired me, did you say? It's so weird. It was a compulsion. It was an actual compulsion. I was going through the Queen songbook and I thought, God, I hate this song. And then I started playing it and I thought, that's sort of annoying. Then I played it a bit more and I thought, oh, it's a bit like, you could almost do this in a sort of Prince Kiss way. And I thought, oh, that would be quite interesting. So I started just laying it down and I thought, yeah, that could actually work doing it like that. However, I couldn't really find a drum loop and I certainly didn't know how to, program in the drums for the drums that Prince uses. And so it just sort of evolved on its own. And then once it was sort of down, I had a really weird relationship with it because I sort of thought, God, it's just rubbish all the way through doing it, but I just couldn't stop doing it. And I would go to sleep and I'd be dreaming about it and thinking, oh my God, why can I not stop thinking about it? And I guess most of all, it just made me laugh. I mean, when you hear the version, and I remember distinctly playing it to you two, and you both laughing all the way through it, which was pretty much.
But laughing in a good way, not laughing in a negative way at all. It's just an absolute joy to hear. You've definitely improved it.
Yeah, because
wow, you see, I didn't know that. I wouldn't have even said that. But
yeah, I think it's definitely improved because it's not an Elvis impersonation that's like, yeah, you can imitate Elvis. Now what? And
yeah,
it is Princey, your version. I don't know how far you'd strip that back, but you can definitely hear that there's a sort of Prince vibe going on in there, which is no bad thing.
No, I think it could really work like that. But then I started thinking, oh well, I really hate the saxophone, so I thought I'm going to put a little bit of that in it, just every now and again. I thought,
but you hate the saxophone in general.
In pop songs, yeah. I don't. I'm not a big fan.
So you're not a Jerry Rafferty fan, or
I'm not a Baker Street lad. No, I don't. I just don't like the sound of it. So I thought, well, I'll put a bit of that in, and also I put a few little bits. Like, I don't know if you probably didn't notice it, but there's I've used It's a Kind of Magic bass line through. I can't remember if it's the verses or the middle eight now.
Which one? The do 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 do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I chucked that in, and then I thought, oh, I know it'll be funny if I try and do a little nod to the hat to Leroy Brown. So I did a nice little bassy note there. To be honest, I was just having so much fun with it. It was actually really good fun.
It sounds like you put loads of Easter eggs in.
Yeah. Well, I started, but. You know what I'm like? I start it and then I forget what I'm doing, and it goes off, and it goes off at a tangent. But yes, that was I put 2 in, but I did mean to put more in because that would be quite good fun as well.
If there's any doctors out there who can diagnose Jay,
it is just really good fun and really entertaining and puts a smile on your face, unlike the original.
Yeah, I think
so. Hats off to you. You've improved a Queen song.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. That's really great feedback.
Yeah. The Works is the first Queen album I bought that hadn't come out while I was a Queen fan. So I sort of became a Queen fan after Hot Space had come out and bought as in was awaiting the Queen Works album as a Queen fan. So I had that excitement.
Right.
And I do remember being disappointed by this track. So shall we get to the scores?
Let's get to the scores on the doors.
Jay?
If it was a standalone single and they'd done it in a totally different way, I'd have given it a 6. It's on the works and they didn't do it in a different way. Got to be a 3.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 2. Lucky to get 2.
Oh, crikey. Yeah, I think I was going to give it a 3, but really there's not much to say about it, is there? And I do feel as though it's just really lazy, so I'm going to give it a 2.
Wipe out.
There we go.
Yeah.
A shockingly low point. Total there.
Yeah.
7.
Oof.
Lucky to get 7.
Lucky 7.
But luckily, you don't have to listen to the original version. You can listen to Jay's much improved version. So here it is, Jay's version of Man on the Prowl. Thank you very much.
Jay has left the building.
That was very good, Ian. I like that.
I'm gonna take a little walk on the wild side. I'm gonna loosen up and get me some